that lives in my every breath. Just wanna say real bit before y'all will start to bump your heads together like ball. Looking for something to bark, maybe balls like a spring, but they ain't as slinky in those on steps. To get to a height like this, where a pit would have been the drop that you would have been looking for, because that would have been the forward thinking I suggested. Forward, dog, with all of your go and then a hop, then a skip and a jump would never come type stuff, because that would have been the call that never got. And some of them flesh that cover them bones that you carry around. Oh. Sad is relentless, and then the saddened part was gonna get the rings that it was looking for, because that would have been the forward thinking as well. Maybe y'all was 4 feathers off, 4 pounds on the scale you bought from a store discount, because I guess it was broke somehow. Or maybe you're broke after you bought with your pockets all hanging out. It would have been an urchin to get some more of this I'd be looking with was dark, and maybe the crib would have got mixed with what would have slipped in that was slippery, bitch. All of them slippers you got with the bunny ears that were long, that were drawn when you would be walking around, you'll be drawn to my song like a moth is drawn from out of that dark. That would have been the dark with my talk, because every time I talk would have been up the bar, because that would have been some of them upper peon stuff with them ultra longs with my etchings on. That would have been what you're yawning for. Whole bunch of them you scoop like coal, lick them till they gone. A whole bunch of them golden talk, I just hang out and whoa, I'm a ghoul or I'm a ghost. I just what the shotter would have been cost off of if you would have cost everything like thunder makes a sound. That was when the flipping thing would have said whatever it did with its fucking fork as tongue that it kept, because I would have been a tucky bitch if I would have talked this in this little adjective I kept in my pocket, bitch. How long have I been sitting on this ammunition, waiting for a spark so we could catch? Waiting for a spark. Waiting for my sparring talk, because then I could gun and spar with yo, something to cause a spark, and that flesh probably near the toe, but maybe in your chest or your gut, like you're back to life somehow. You was a walking corpse, but not the dead, because then you would have been dead. You can listen to this, bitch. You can catch this in the side of your head. You can catch it like a cough that you probably need checked. You can get the checkout and the line was ever met. You would have to admit, long enough with meddling with bread, I could mend this shit in just a sec. I wouldn't need the calluses on my digits either to do it, dog. Like the lady that sat the moon too long, because then you would've did the do-ah shit while yourself or the whole fucking world would just spin and you stop. Because then you would've said when you're old, when your beard's this fucking long, that it was a nice trip type stuff. If you ever ate the toadstools again, you go for walk in the hike that never stopped, to the heights of which you never thought you'd get to since you was a kid type stuff. That would have been a cute minute to spin just to listen to shit that would never have an end, bitch. And there was never ended story, but something he said when he would have said the satellite resembled a Saturn that would spin but just the rings nearby. Isn't that ironic, right? So I would have said like Sonic type to start to tap my feet, because I'm a tap dancer with the shit that I think. All of y'all would start too low because you start like cars with hoods off. But what was broke? Nothing at all. Maybe you're stupid. Maybe you need a pot of bark, a pot of butt, like y'all just caught the ball. Or caught what I tried to terrible bad, because then you would have got all of the goss that I got, because then the seagull would just stop and he would watch as he ate this fish that he just caught, and he called it his launch. This was a launching pad for shit that was bad, because then you would have got the whip on your back if you didn't listen real bad. So a fucking red would have dripped, or maybe it dropped. I guess what's after the fact. You're after some more of this flow by Globe and a whole bunch of this I'm knowing some hoe, because then I would be pulling it in from somewhere else, like I'm a lightning rod for some brightening stuff. This was why the rod was created for walls and a whole bunch of laws that are brought with a whole bunch of flop on my tongue, because that was the fabric I chose for this egg that I got. A Fabergé I should have said, but we can't go big, not even that fucking quick. Maybe just the glass through cloth that was thick, and the clobbering from these claws he thought had rubber bonds, but they don't. I bust when we saw, because then the boss would never stop at your tongue, so you could get off or you could get on. The shadows would cast maybe a whole bunch of metal that dripped that was melted because it was hard, and this was some Terminator shit, so foam a fist, but point up that thumb that you got. Like you're hitchhiking bits, and that was the part of the script when you get the knife in the big. You were Caesar and I was Brutus, then with some more of this rude type shit that would have grew in the swamp that's near you, like a theater, so you could glimpse a 40-foot tall creation of my mind, just surrendering all I like. Those are the breaks now. The broadside, the tailwind. I said some more, the 10 vocal cords from out of throat, because seems I know more than y'all some hoe. While y'all got the books was thick, I amplified my shit. Like I plugged in a guitar that hums, and I turned the knob where I want. Y'all was stopped or you were stuck. You sat on a fire hydrant too long, and I turned it on like a fucking fireman I was. Y'all was lost, and Wubsy wouldn't stop to help you or just comfort you at all, because I told him to stop in mid-process, dog, because this was midway stuff. With a jet I dropped a bomb to crater your dome. Didn't think they created those, like they stopped, or maybe God stepped in. He finally had enough type stuff with his arms were all crossed, but you was the only one that was crossed, dog, with two others that stood around to crucifix my style. So you learn to love it now, because if you didn't learn, you'd never know how. And that was the baddest part of this, that just want to say like another part of this fist would have got a pond instead, because then you ponder rampant all existence. I just want to be in my orbit then, because then I know that y'all was Norbit, bitch. I need to learn by inch. I need to learn to what extent to create existence, and with rips and sentences like this was what would stretch around the throat. You keep the oxygen ends, because you can't have any of mine, it belongs to him. All of this beloved stuff with Rob, because y'all was a fucking uppercut just waiting to hop on the bump of jaw, and I'm the fist that hot for those. Boom. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. What do you think, Kitty? I liked it. I'd rather liked it. That's right. Then I smother this, then I'd say about a bit, and then I said the Baltic sit. So get the whole of it, not half of it, because you have to half this shit. Every time I said to you something that you need.